Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Not Very Athletic. Yes, welcome back to episode 3 of Not Very Athletic. I'm Wes, and in today's episode we'll be taking on Brackley and Leamington in the Vanarama National League North. Now, since you were last with me, we've had a pretty good run of form. In the last episode you saw us beat North Ferriby 1-0 at home and then lose to Blythe away from home 3-1. We managed to follow that up with a 2-1 away loss to Bradford Park Avenue. Stephen Rowe with the only goal for us in that game. We managed to beat Farsley in the FA Cup second qualifying round 4-0 at home. Goals from Makaka, Carl Lawson, Gary Jones and RJ Pinling. We then beat Darlington 2-1 at home. 2 goals from Stephen Rowe in that game meant we took all 3 points. We then drew 3-3 against Haringey in the FA Cup third qualifying round. Goals from Carl Lawson, Stephen Rowe and Andy Parrish, which meant that one went to a replay and we managed to win that in extra time. A goal from Stephen Rowe meant that we went through to the fourth qualifying round. We then followed that up with a 4-2 loss away from home against AFC Telford. Goals from Makaka and Lawson in that game for us, but we couldn't win. We then beat Tiverton in the fourth round of the FA Cup qualifying rounds, which meant we have now qualified for the first round proper of the FA Cup. We beat them 2-0 at home. 2 goals from RJ Pinling in that game. We then drew against Curzon Ashton, 2-2 away from home. Goals from Makaka and Stephen Rowe. And then in our last game, we lost to Salford 2-0 at home. Like I said, today we're going to be taking on Brackley, who are in 4th place, and Leamington, who are in 6th place. We currently sit in 12th, which isn't too bad. We're on 19 points, minus 2 goal difference. We're only 3 points off of the playoffs, and more importantly, we are 8 points clear of the relegation zone. So, all good stuff, really. Good going for the first season, I think. We're 15 games in now. We'll have a look at the transfers because there have been a few transfers since you last saw me, one of which I have mentioned a couple of times. We brought in Carl Lawson on a free transfer. I've used him before. Those of you that have watched my 0 to Hero save will have seen him before for us. He's 23 years old, English striker. Current ability of 4 stars and a 4.5 star potential ability. Likes to play as a poacher or an advanced forward or a deep lying forward. He came in on a free transfer from Sunderland. He's played 3 games for us. Scored 1 goal, got 1 assist and an average rating of 6.93, which is good. We then signed Lewis Robinson on loan from our parent club, Notts County. He's an 18-year-old English attacking midfielder with a 1.5 star current ability and a 4 star potential. Another loanee from our parent club, Dominic Brownhill. He is another 18-year-old, but he's Scottish. He plays as an attacking midfielder but can play in central midfield as a Carolero or a central midfielder. He has a 1.5 star current ability, 3 star potential. He's not been too good for us since he came in. He's only made 3 appearances and an average rating of 6.57, so he's meh. We then managed to bring in Jonathan Fagbola from FC United. We actually paid money for this player. He's 24 years old, he's an English centre-back with 2 star current ability, 3 star potential, and we paid 4.9k for him from FC United. He's made 4 appearances and an average rating of 6.82, which is quite good considering the run of games we've had. We also signed Jassim Suka on loan. No, he's a free transfer. He's a 21-year-old Egyptian centre-back, 3 star current ability, 5 star potential, so hopefully he can be one for the future for us. He has made a few appearances, but he was out injured. I don't know. Yeah, he's still out injured with sprained knee ligaments. He's going to be out for another 2 weeks, so you probably won't see him in this episode. But hopefully, later on in the season, you will see him. So we're going to go on and have a look at our tactic for the first game of today's episode against Brackley. We're going with a starting 11 of Dorber in goal, back 4 of Hill, Fagbola, Arthur Worry and Obeng. A midfield of Makaka, Jones and Maynard, with Doherty playing in just behind Rowe and Pingling. On the bench we have Brownhill, Duxbury, Parrish, Matt Richards and Carl Lawson, playing on our usual control mentality, flexible team shape with the usual team instructions. And I'm hoping we can get a result from this game. Brackley are favourites, both in inconsistent form. No, we're favourites, but Brackley are in better form. Weird. Hopefully we can get the win. Yeah, we currently sit in 12th, so a win, maybe 2 wins in this episode would see us go into the playoffs. But I'm not overly bothered about the playoffs this season. I just want to consolidate staying in the league, and we have gone 1-0 down very early on, minute and a half into the game. Luke Wally, I recognise that player from my days at Southend in 0 to Hero. I'm pretty sure that's the same guy. He was one of the wingers I binned off when I started using the 4-3-1-2. We have had more of possession. We've only had 1 shot so far, though. I don't expect us to beat Brackley because they're up in the playoffs. They're only 9 points off the top of the table as things stand. So, you know, there is a chance we won't win this game. And I have actually moved my screen. My screen's now directly below me because I do use 2 screens. I have my laptop screen and then I have an external screen here. And I think maybe looking down at a screen's better than looking across as if I'm looking out the window, because I did notice that in my last video. We have got another highlight. Dorber with the ball, who's just holding on to it. He plays it forward to Doherty, who nods it on to Rowe, who's through on goal, and he's equalised for us 29 minutes in. Great, well-worked goal there. It was a good ball out from Dorber. Long ball to Doherty, who nodded it on perfectly for Rowe to run onto it. It was a good run and a good finish from him. He's been playing really, really well this season. He's been on fire. He's our top goal scorer. And we just need to keep him fit now. At 16 years of age, we just need to make sure that he stays fit and keeps scoring, really. Just handle him well. And we want to keep hold of him because he could potentially become a decent player for us. Or if not, he could bring in some decent money for us later in the game. It looks like we're going to go in at half-time at 0-0. Not 0-0, 1-1. There have been 2 goals. Yeah, going in at half-time at 1-1. We've had 3 bookings already. We do pick up quite a few bookings, I've noticed, with this tactic. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I've got quite a lot of old players and they just can't match the pace of the youngsters, and they're putting in last-ditch tackles, which is causing fouls and bookings. I don't know. Hill winning the ball back in defence there, and that's the end of the highlight. We've got a highlight again. Hill with the throw into Doherty. Hill back to Doherty to Jones, who lost out in the penalty area, but Makaka's got it back and Pingling puts it over the bar. We're starting to control this game a bit more now. We've had 8 shots, 2 on target. We've had 50% of possession. Defence not playing overly well by their average rating, but Fagbola trying to shoot from very, very long range, saw a keeper off his line, and now they're through, and it was only just wide. We were lucky there. Another highlight straight away, and Jones is going to get himself sent off now. We're down to 10 men, 56 minutes in, and I think I'm going to sacrifice a striker, bring Pingling back because he's not playing well anyway. Why has he swapped him with Makaka? I don't want him to swap him with Makaka. I want to bring him back into the midfield. And bring on... who shall I bring on? Richards? Yeah, we'll bring on Matt Richards. And Doherty can now play as an attacking midfielder on attack. We'll stay on control, but we'll switch down to structured. A draw would be a pretty decent result for us in this game. The 2 Manchester clubs up at the top of the table fighting it out. Salford and FC United. Brackley not far behind them though. And who have we got next? Leamington in 5th. So this is a big couple of games for us. Arthur Worry getting the ball back at the back. Richards now to Maynard. Makaka to Rowe. A bang out on the wing. Can he find a cross? He's found Doherty, and that's 2-1, 68 minutes in. Despite being down to 10 men, we are ahead, and that was a well-worked goal. Makaka to Rowe. Rowe found a bang perfectly in acres and acres of space. Had loads of time to find the cross, and he found Doherty. Great volley from him, hitting it in off the post. It was a well-worked goal from us. Although we're defending now, and they've just replied instantly from a set piece. That's where they're going to get their chances now, because they'll have a man over. Poor defending. It's a shame. Arthur Worry having an awful game, so I think we're going to make some substitutions. We're going to bring off Arthur Worry off and bring on Parrish. And I think I'll bring off Maynard and bring on Brownhill. Straight swap for him there. We'll stay on structured. We'll stay on structured. And stay on control. Just see out the rest of the game. Like I say, a draw is a good result for us, really. It's a shame considering we were up, but they've got another set piece now, and we were lucky not to concede. It was a long throw. I seem to have noticed quite a few long throws becoming very dangerous in the game this year. I've seen it a lot in 0 to Hero, and especially down here in the lower leagues in Not Very Athletic. I've noticed the long throws becoming more and more important. We're into stoppage time now. 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've got the ball back. Doherty to Hill to Makaka. Back to Doherty, trying to find Rowe, but he can't. And now they're going to come back at us. It's just a long lump ball forward, and we were lucky not to concede there. They were through on goal. If we could just see out the last few minutes. Richards with a free kick, and it puts 3-2 up. That's his first goal for the club. What a free kick from him. Deep into stoppage time, and that's got to be it. Great free kick. I've never seen him take a free kick before, despite having him in several of my teams in the past, and once again we've equalised. It's been disallowed. Yes, it's been disallowed. And it is full time. 3-2. We only just managed to claw our way through that game, despite being down to 10 men. We had 19 shots, 6 on target, and 53% of possession. What a game to start the episode. And everybody's delighted with Harry Wilson's team talk. You're getting better at the team talks, Harry. I know you watch quite often. And then just 2-day gap now before we play Leamington in the next game. Okay, so here we are ready for our next game against Leamington away from home. We are going to go on a counter mentality for this game, and we're going to be structured because we are playing away from home. And I have noticed that if I play on counter away from home, we do get better results. Only change to the side is Richards comes in for the suspended Jones, and Robinson comes onto the bench in place of Richards. Other than that, it's exactly the same. I know Richards is struggling for match fitness, but he's not going to get it if he doesn't play. So I'm hoping Leamington are favourites for this game. They've gone up to 4th, and Brackley have dropped. Because obviously we beat Brackley in the last game. We moved up to 11th place after that win, and we're only 3 points behind Blythe in the last playoff spot. So we are in touching distance of the playoffs. If Blythe lose today and we win, then we could potentially go up into the playoffs. Shorter passing play, I think we're going to, yes. So 15 minutes in, no highlights as of yet. We haven't even had a shot. Leamington have had 3 shots. We haven't yet. None of them been on target. Well, one has now. They've had 4 shots, 1 on target. Every time I say that, they have a shot. So I'm pretty sure the game can hear me, and it's just trying to make me look like an idiot. We've had a shot now, but still no highlights. 31 minutes in, and it's pretty boring first half. Are we going to make it through to half-time without a highlight? That could be quite interesting, or not. Because I'm going to have to ramble on and on and on just to fill the gap between now and half-time. We're nearly at half-time now, and we have gone into half-time with no highlights at all in the first half. What a boring first half. I think I'm going to change the tactics up so at least we get some highlights in the second half, because I don't want this to be a boring 0-0 draw with no highlight in the entire game. So we're going to come off counter, we're going to go up to standard, and we are going to be more expressive when the team instructions comes up. We're going to be more expressive. And we're going to play a much higher tempo, play it round them as quickly as we possibly can. We've had 3 shots, they've had 4, we've now had 4 shots. We haven't had 1 on target yet. It would be nice if we get a highlight at some point during this game. You know what, I'm going to go up to control, and then I'm going to put us on flexible as well to try and get something out of this. Because we're 60 minutes in now and we haven't had a highlight yet. It's just ridiculous. I do apologise. We're going to pump the ball into the box now as well. We're going to go more direct passing just to try and get some highlights. We have our first highlight of the game, 66 minutes in, and we're defending, but Hill wins the ball back. Rowe now crosses to Pingling, and he forces a save out the keeper. We've got a corner. Richards with the corner to Maynard, who does nothing with it really. Abeng picks it up at the back, and that's the end of the highlight. But we've had our first highlight of the game, yes, and our first shot on target. We now have another corner. Rowe with the ball, and he's played it just wide. That could have been our chance. 71 minutes in, I'm going to make some substitutions now. And I think we're going to bring off Maynard because he's not done anything. We're going to bring on Dominic Hill for him. And Pingling not having a good game again, so we're bringing on Lawson for him. So you'll get your first look at Lawson since he's joined the club. He might even come out with a goal. You never know. 75 minutes in, nothing as yet since the substitutions. And I'm going to go on to attacking. we're having a lot of possession, and I think we need to do something with it. We are going to turn off dribble less, and we're going to get stuck in. We're going to prevent short goal kick distribution. We're going to push the defensive line up to normal and see what that does. A bang with the long ball forward to Lawson, who's got hold of it, and he should have squared that. Should have squared it to Rowe. He was just being selfish there. We could have had a goal there. We could have gone into the playoffs. Although Blythe aren't 2-0 up against Bradford. So Brackley are dropping down to 7th. They're on a bit of a downward turn. We've had 10 shots, 1 on target. And this is going to finish as a 0-0, I'm pretty sure. Hill with the free kick. Arthur Worry heard me saying this is going to finish as a 0-0, and he decided to grab a goal. That's pushed us up to 10th place. And it's time now for me to drop us back onto... We're going to go back onto counter, and we're going to go more structured, and then I'm going to just change the team instructions around. We're going to drop that defensive line back. We're going to play a normal tempo. We're not going to pump the ball into the box or look for the overlap anymore. We're going to go shorter passing, retain possession, stick to positions, be more disciplined. We're going to use tighter marking as well. And I am going to bring off Doherty. I'm going to drop him back into the defence to start with. Then I'm going to bring him off for Parish and just have him there. Just pack that defence out so we can keep this lead. We've only got a few seconds now to hold out, and I think this is going to be about it. We've got possession as well. Richards loses out though to their player, and it is full time. It is 1-0. We only had 2 or 3 highlights in the whole game. One of them was a goal for us, and we won 1-0. 11 shots, 2 on target, 53% of possession. Just the 1 goal from Stephen Arthur Worry in stoppage time, and that was another good performance. Another good team talk from Harry Wilson, and I think that pushes us up to 10th. It has. Only 2 points behind Brackley in 7th at the bottom of the playoffs. Well, 2 games, 2 wins in this episode. A good episode to show. We'll have a look, see where we're going to come back. We have got Bristol Rovers in the first round of the FA Cup next, but I'm not going to show that game. I think we will come back. We've got a double header against Gainsborough. Our local rivals. One on Boxing Day, one on New Year's Day. So I think that's where we're going to come back. We'll come back for the double header against Gainsborough. So if you like that, please give it a big thumbs up, smash that like button for me. Don't forget to subscribe for more Football Manager 18 content, and remember, follow me on Facebook and Twitter at WeaselGamerTV for both of those. And thank you very much for watching.